Welcome to our newest series, Board Game Battle. Pretty much, if you don't know, it's going to be based off the idea of Flickchart. It's a website where you rate movies. You can go check it out. But we're adding some tweaks in, and obviously, it's board game related. Jonathan, what are some of the more specific rules for our little version?
So here's how it's going to go. We are going to be drawing board games out of a hat, or in our case, a helmet. And there are randomly written in there on little pieces of paper over 300 board game titles that both of us have played. That includes some more modern, popular board games, even some original older games, like I think chess and checkers are in there. So there's a little bit of a grab bag of a mix of hardcore and casual games. And the two that come out, we have to decide which one we like better. For any reason, totally subjective, our opinions. If we agree, then that's the winner and we move on to the next one. If we disagree, then we are going to go to the Board Game Geek ratings at BoardGameGeek.com, and the winner will be determined by whichever one has the highest score.
That's right.
On Board Game Geek.
You're the tiebreaker.
That's right. You people out there. So if you're watching in the future, you could kind of pressure it by by voting on different games to see how it goes. We also each have one veto per episode, which means that if we really, really want something to win and we just can't stand to see it anywhere else on the list, we can use that veto to say that's the winner regardless of what Board Game Geek's score was.
You can expect me to use my divine intervention on tic-tac-toe.
And then there's also going to be one final gauntlet round at the end, which is going to feature just one board game going up against a series of others to see how it stacks up. And the idea is that eventually at the end of this, we're going to hopefully compile a list of our favorite games ranked based on how we decide on these episodes.
Since it's the first one, it might be a little while till it gets up, but on our site at rollforcrit.com, we'll have a list so you can check it out and then yell at us why that list is wrong.
All right, so it's a little bit experimental. We're not sure how it's going to go, but let's start out. It's very, very exciting. What are our first two games?
What do you got?
I've got Mice and Mystics, which will be going up against
Growl.
Growl. All right, so Growl, the social deduction, werewolf-themed game, Mice and Mystics, story-based narrative dungeon crawler. Very different games, and also I will say for some of these games we've played dozens of times. Some of them we may have only played once or twice, and that's just how it's going to be. But you'll just have to live with that fact. This is a tough one for me. I think I might have to say Mice and Mystics just based on. I just really love the art and the story in those games, and there's clearly more meat and depth to it. Although
I like Growl a lot, but I think Mice and Mystics, ideally, I'm going to take these games in an ideal situation unless there's something that really stands out. Like if you can get the group to go through the story, it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, all right, so we're in agreement.
Yes,
on
we
may
are.
be in agreement on a lot of these, to be honest. Sometimes we have similar opinions. By the way, look out for a review of Growl later this month. You can see exactly what we feel about it.
This was not set up. That was very convenient. So back in the hat.
We're putting them all back in, so things can come back up again and again. It's all fair game.
It's all going to be Growl.
So the Growl episode, baby. All right, this time around, I've got Isle of Skye.
And I have the extremely popular Wingspan.
Oh, well, I think I know how this one is going to go. Now, these are both Kennerspiel winners.
Yeah, they are.
So they're appropriately in the same category, but I think both of us are much stronger on Wingspan.
Oh, yeah, I think Wingspan's probably going to do very well in this game.
Yeah, Wingspan will probably tend to do pretty well. It's a darling right now.
And it doesn't even have the dinosaurs yet that I'm going to get in there someday.
All right, throw those back in there. All right, let's see what we got next. All right. Okay, this is an interesting one. I've got Dominant Species, the card game.
Okay.
Not the board game.
Not the board game.
The card game.
I have Olympus.
Oh, okay, Olympus. Now, I don't, we've had our, Olympus is a very Euro-heavy game, and we've had our quibbles with it, I think, but Dominant Species, the card game it's a spin-off, it's a trifle.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Olympus. I will say this, though. It is because the card game just feels like a very watered-down version of the board game, which, while unbelievably long, I do enjoy a lot.
Yeah, it's almost not even, it's been a while since we've played it, but it's almost not even a watered-down version. It's really its own,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
really. I am excited, hopefully, to try out the C version when they finally release that.
Right, the marine version. All right, so that one goes to Olympus.
Still in agreement.
I know, no fights yet. No, it's the battle between the board games, not us. We're trying to keep things civil.
Wait until we make it personal.
Yeah, that may happen.
All right, what do you got?
All right. I have Exodus Paris Nouveau. That's the dystopian universe.
Wow. I have Coup.
Okay. Again, I mean, it's a perfect matchup, but I mean,
Well, I think because it's a perfect matchup, it's much more obvious.
yeah, Coup. They're much more similar in
Like, our Growl, Mice one were like, those are different genres, so I could see if you had an argument with the other. But this is like...
In this case, Coup is clearly the stronger game. I mean, it's...
Oh, man.
I feel like most of the other games in that line, they've been trying to do Coup again.
You were really worried at the very beginning, like, what if we just get stuck on one pairing for like 10 minutes? That's not the case.
No, we've been making these decisions rather quickly. Of course, you watching at home, leave in the comments if you have different opinions. All right, this time around, hey, following along those same lines, I've got the Resistance Avalon.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. Mansions of Madness.
Wow. So once again, very
This is where different games, and I think
games.
this may be where we disagree.
Now, I'm assuming, I actually don't remember, because for some of these,
You did not write addition on this.
For some of these, I did differentiate, but let's go ahead and just say that that's
Second
edition.
I think the most recent.
The most modern version of Mansions of Madness. And this is Avalon, not the, because I do remember I separated the original Resistance from Avalon. Yeah, I think this probably is our first disagreement. I am a huge fan of both of these games. But
oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
But for me,
this is not a...
Resistance Avalon is one of, I think it's in my top 10.
I know it, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's one of the ones you just love.
It's one of those games we played early on that just stuck in my heart.
Especially the second edition. I like a lot more, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Mansions on this one. So
you know what this means?
Yeah,
we're gonna find out.
Yeah, I don't want to spend my veto. I want to actually see at least one board.
No,
game
because I also would be fine with either of these.
That's
winning.
true. There are worse ones to argue. We've looked it up, and I'll start with Mansions at an 8.1.
Well, it's going to Mansions. Resistance was 7.6.
Ooh,
Close, but yeah, that one goes to Mansions. All right, moving up.
good on you, Board Game Geek, for agreeing with me. All right, our next pairing.
Veto. Nah. We're not going to use our vetoes. All right, I've got an interesting one. Harbor, which is the small worker placement card game from Tasty Minstrel.
Okay, I have Grackles, the game about the birds known as grackles.
Right.
Trying to get different patterns on, I think, telephone wires.
Yeah, we reviewed that not within the past year, I believe, and I'm a big fan of Harbor. I don't think.
No, I do enjoy Harbor a lot. I think it does a lot of fun.
We were both a little lukewarm on Grackles. It's just kind of an okay.
We like our
abstract
birds
game.
and wingspan, but I guess not as much in Grackle.
Yeah, Harbor is a lot of fun. It's a cute little one for you. All right, now here we got some interesting stuff. I've got Legendary Encounters, the X-Files specifically.
Okay, yeah, I was like, since you're matching
The
speed. All right,
X-Files
all right.
version of Legendary Encounters.
Now I have a hot new one.
Okay.
I have Unmatched.
Oh, okay. Unmatched, very hot. That's the two-player dueling game.
And depending on what you get, you could be Robin Hood, you could be Bigfoot.
This is a tough one because neither of these are ones that we have a ton of time with, and both are ones that I really like. Unmatched, much more of an unknown quantity. Legendary, we've played so many versions of it at this point. I don't know. What do you feel about this? For me, this is hard. My instinct is telling me Unmatched. I think partially because it's newer, and X-Files, I've seen it before, and maybe that's washed over me a little bit.
So for me, I feel I have to, part of me is like Legendary because I'm always down for the deck building. But I think Unmatched, when I played, the quality of it, and as well as just the art and everything, like even though I'm not as big of a fan on the 1v1 sort of dueling games, I think I'm leaning more towards Unmatched here. Also because it's going to have all the variety we know and all these fun characters. I mean, they're having the Raptors from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the final thing that's pushing me over those close. Maybe some of the other Legendaries might have won.
Right.
But I think I'm going to have to go with Unmatched here.
I think if you look at those two games on a table, it's clear where there's more polish in one than the other, in my opinion. At least in the art and the design of the board and things. All right, so sounds like Unmatched is Unmatched.
Are you going for it? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you convinced me too. Although I do like X-Files. It's a spin-off. I can leave it.
We'll do one more of these before we enter the Gauntlet.
All right, so I've got The Pillars of the Earth, somewhat, I guess, a classic Euro game based on a book.
I have Adalos, Am I saying that right?
Adelos or Adalos, I don't know, which is a battle game with hexes that we also reviewed recently that is much more obscure than Pillars of the Earth. I gotta go Pillars of the Earth.
Yeah, I really did enjoy that. It's actually one that was on my shelf for the longest time because I'm like, oh, it's that dry Euro game. I'll never get to it. And when we finally did, we're like, oh, this is really fun.
Yeah, it's one of those games like a lot of those Euro games.
Don't judge it by its cover.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to conclude the episode this time with our Gauntlet Mode, as we alluded to earlier. And the game that we've selected this week is Ticket to Ride.
We thought we'd start with a classic gateway game that we both still enjoy greatly.
Yeah, something to populate our list on. So we're going to do 10 matchups in a row, Ticket to Ride versus 10 games, and we'll see where it lands.
All right, so first up, we have, if I can pull up the paper,
Do it.
8-Bit Box.
8-Bit Box. That's the yellow game with multiple. I'm definitely giving this one the Ticket to Ride.
I'm going to have to too. I think I've had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, maybe if it was up against.
Maybe later on when more games are added to the 8-Bit Box.
Yeah, Ticket to Ride though, it's a classic.
All right, Hanabi.
Ooh, harder, much tougher.
Much, yeah.
Hanabi is another one that was on my top 10 list, and Ticket to Ride wasn't.
I'm gonna have to go with Hanabi on this one. This is supposed to be a little faster.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Hanabi as well. I'm gonna go Hanabi.
Attack on Titan. This is the board game based on the anime where there's actually someone plays a Titan, has his own little vertical board.
Ticket to Ride for me on this one. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to too, but that one is a lot of fun and it does some, I think, fun, creative.
That's also the same designer as Hanabi, by the way, which is interesting.
So good on you. You won one and lost on the Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, that's 3, right? We're keeping track.
Yeah. Jenga.
Jenga. Okay, both could be conceived as gateway games that are good for
I'm
casuals.
gonna go Ticket to Ride. Unless you do some weird, like get some really weird Jenga stuff, I feel it's silly. But
it's Ticket to Ride. There's an actual game there.
Patchwork.
Oh, tough.
Yeah,
really tough.
That one, we've had a lot of fun with that one.
Now, part of this is also Patchwork is 1v1 only, where Ticket to Ride, of course, provides like 3 to 5.
By the way, I've been judging this, but I guess I should have asked. Are we doing Ticket to Ride base?
I'm doing the base in this case. I think if you wanted to throw in like
maybe the idea of other maps, but I don't think like you can throw in the sea, for example, like
those have different
rails and sails. I mean, not seas.
Yeah, so we're thinking about base Ticket to Ride mostly. I guess I think I still would say Ticket to Ride.
I am too.
Yeah,
I am too.
It's still really strong.
And that's 5, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Time Stories.
Oh wow! Now that's another. Now this one I would say I think you can include future time stories.
I think you have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to. So it's definitely Ticket to Ride still for me. Two TIs against each other.
I think
for me it's the Kit to Ride.
And actually, because expansions, I'm getting a Ticket to Ride because the base story in Time Stories I think is fantastic, but some of those other expansions I think have been a bit of a letdown for me.
Yeah.
Maybe not terrible. I mean, but. Not that the Asylum one was just on point, I think.
Yeah, it's hard. Ticket to Ride it's a behemoth.
And I played more than you.
Yeah, you sure have.
Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
Okay, Pandemic Legacy Season 1 versus Ticket to Ride. Now we might lose some people here because that's a highly ranked game on Board Game Geek.
I'm going Ticket to Ride.
And you're almost in a way, it's like, because it's not Pandemic.
Right.
Would you give Pandemic over Ticket to Ride?
I don't know about that one. I think the legacy aspect, because I have some issues with how the legacy was done, and I admittedly, we've had this conversation, it was really one of the firsts in it. I think technically 2, but I think they could have done it better and polished, so I'm gonna have to give it to Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, part of this is just the stature of Ticket to Ride and what it's done for the industry.
This is doing a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, Ticket to Ride, so far it's only lost to Hanabi.
Yeah. So that's 7 now?
Yeah.
Tokaido.
Oh, Tokaido's a good one.
I really like Tokaido. I love the app game version of it. And while I have been saying Ticket to Ride a lot, and because I enjoy it, I'm going Tokaido on this one.
I don't love Tokaido as much. I also don't think I have as much experience as you do with it. It is a very pleasant and enjoyable game. I think I would go Ticket to Ride on this one. Does this mean we have to break and look up the scores
I guess
right
so.
now?
You might as well say it now, because Ticket to Ride's constant. We should have looked this up at the beginning.
Right, so Ticket to Ride has a 7.4.
Oh,
it's Tokaido.
7.
Oh wow, so Ticket to Ride takes it. I'm surprised, because I think...
I'm not really, because I could see, like, Ticket to Ride's such a bigger game, I think.
A lot more ratings, a lot more votes. That
Maybe we'll do a video argue and discuss Board Game Geek's rating system on this couch again.
So I think we got 2 more?
Yes, 2 more.
2 more
the
for
final
Ticket
2.
to Ride.
Salem 1692.
That's going to Ticket to Ride.
Yeah. To be fair, I feel like when we played that, we had a really bad experience.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to play that game a lot more. It's a social deduction game.
No, I mean with our group. It's definitely a game where the people at the table will define how well that game's going to go. And finally, the end is nigh.
Oh, okay. That's a niche small game from Mystic Ape Games. It's also a social deduction game.
If you were expecting us to only pull Catan, Pandemic, and other real big games.
No, we're going into the deep end, baby. Ticket to Ride, I mean, it's the king.
All right, so Ticket to Ride has done very well. It has only lost 1 and only tied once as well.
Yeah.
With a very close tie, though, I should mention.
Yeah, it definitely went up against some not so steep competition.
Yeah, compared to some of the other ones drawn, but I think this is, we'll see how it works out for the rest of the time. Maybe if we do more of these Gauntlet runs, we'll put the Gauntlet winners against other Gauntlet winners.
Yeah, that's true. We have some
King of the Kings.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Well, we're interested to hear your feedback on this episode, how you thought it went, if you have any suggestions for maybe some rules tweaks or otherwise, or if you disagree with some of our choices on this one. Are you going for Mansions or Resistance Avalon? Where do you land on that one? Let us know in the comment section, of course, down below. And go to our website, rollforcrit.com, where eventually we'll have some sort of a rankings of our top games on there based on these episodes.
Well, until next time, I'm Will.
I'm Jonathan.
And this has been Battle of the Board Games.
We want you to like and subscribe, and if you have the chance, take a look at our Patreon.
Thank you for being a friend. Subscribe to our channel and back again. Okay.